Okay, here's a memory. When I was in Venice Beach, I had been there for, I don't know, a month or two. I don't really even know anymore. It was coming up on Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. So I'd been there 2 months. And they were going to do a sweep. Which, if you don't know what a sweep is, well, then why don't you go be homeless? And then you'll learn what a sweep is. That's when they like run through and they put all the homeless people in jail just because they're homeless. Because there's going to be a lot of tourists who come through. So there was a group of, I don't know, eight of us, and we decided we were going to leave. And we just go to Hollywood for the weekend. We had gotten to Santa Monica, and by that time, there was only, it was me and Chuck and Raccoon and Titty Popper and another person whose name I cannot remember. Montana. Anyway, yeah, those aren't real names, but they are real names. And we were the only ones who left Venice and went to Hollywood. Everybody else wound up in jail and they were arrested because, that's what a sweep is. It's to put the homeless in jail. But, we went to Hollywood. And I didn't have any shoes at that time. And so I was walking barefoot through Hollywood. And walking barefoot on that marble, man, that fucked my feet up for life. They've never been the same since then. We we all took turns flying a sign. Oh God, what was it? Titty Popper. They were all flying a sign. I was the only girl in the group, and all the guys were flying a sign. Kick me in the nuts for $10. I mean, that's, whew, because people do that, and they're not nice for $10. Whew. So I flew the sign too. I did. I didn't make any money, but if I'm gonna be part of the group, I've gotta play along. So we it was the most disgusting weekend I'd ever spent. Hollywood is disgusting. I mean, it's gross. I mean, it's really, 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 really gross. We found, like, in the middle of the night, we found, like, a little side road and some little alcove thing, and we all piled in there and slept in, and I was sleeping on the outside. Kind of weird, but hey, guys, don't take care of girls because we're all the same. We're all equal. If you can't hold your own, you might as well get on. So I was sleeping on the outside. And this drunk old gentleman lays down right next to me and he wants to cuddle up. Wouldn't want to do anything, but he was just like... Anywho, so we wound up leaving the next day, I believe. I got my first backpack there, though. Oh my gosh, my first backpack. I loved that backpack. It was amazing. It held all my stuff. It held like 5 pair of... It was just a regular, like, backpack, school backpack. I mean, I had like 5 pair of jeans, 4 shirts, my sleeping bag, a pillow, dog food. It was amazing. It was like a 20-pound backpack. Little did I know I would graduate to a Coyote 80, a Kelty Coyote 80 when I got to Santa Barbara. But anywho, that's another story. That was another story. It was raining. It was raining. And all of our stuff got wet. I mean, it was just mine and Josh. All of our stuff got wet. And we didn't have any dry things to camp with. So I went to REI in Santa Barbara. Because they have a no chase policy. I went in there and I loaded up a backpack with necessities, and then, I got away with it because they have a no chase policy. But then, I was ballsy and I went back later to try to get sleeping bags because it was going to be cold. And I was a little bit too drunk. And this woman saw me. This Karen saw me and jumped in and told the police, and they followed me until this Karen found me. All I wanted was some sleeping bags to keep us warm. And the things I got in the first time were just well, that's when they should have caught me. All those things I got away with, and I kept, and I traveled with that backpack for a long time. But that Karen, well, I went to jail. Yeah, I did. No big deal. I wasn't in the right. I'm not going to complain about it, but it was cold. And I didn't want Josh to be cold. And I didn't want to be cold when it was winter. And we can talk about the time that, the Goodwill, when, Mama Cat was in a wheelchair and somebody had rolled her and taken her for all of her stuff. She had no sleeping bag. She had nothing to keep her warm because somebody had stolen it all. So I walked down walked up State Street and then down Carrillo to the corner of Bath. And I went and I asked them if they could donate a sleeping bag. No, we can't donate a sleeping bag, but you can come in and purchase one if you like. I thought they were there to help people, but they're not. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on a rant on how people don't help homeless, because people are homeless for different reasons. Some are veterans and they have PTSD that they can't cope with reality anymore. And then you've got foster kids whose parents have ditched them, and they were put in these foster homes where they were beaten and abused, and then they run away, and then they're living on the streets, and then they get hooked on drugs. But then you've got, there's so many. Just don't be so freaking hateful. You don't know everybody's story. There's a story for every digit and every bone in your body. Mine's different. I could get out anytime I wanted to, and I did. It was an experience I wanted to have, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the people. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to drink my last drink, and I'm going to go to bed. Just don't be so judgmental on people. You have no idea what anybody's been through. When I'm saying when you have no idea what anybody's been through, take in a foster kid. See how many homes they've been through and how many times they've been abused, okay? And then find out, and then judge them. Judge them for being strung out on drugs. It's not cool, man. We've got a problem in this country, and we've got to fix it. We're able. I strongly suggest we do. I love me. I love me. I love me so much. I love you. I love my friends. Not that I have any, but the people who were with me were my friends. Be safe. Be kind. Be honest. And try to smile. I love you.